Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that is bothering me a little bit when it comes to PvZ Heroes Logic. So, first of all, Admiral Navy Bean, cost 1, has 1 attack and 1 health. Navy Bean, on the other hand, despite being of lower rank apparently, has 2 attack, 2 health, technically it's 3-3. It costs 4. Why does Navy Bean have more stats than its supposed superior? Melon Polt is a 5 cost 3-4. Winter Melon on the other hand is a 6 cost 4-5. So it isn't as bad as the Melon Polt, but different stats still. It doesn't make that much sense. Winter Squash is a plant, while Squash is a trick for whatever reason. Winter Squash is a plant for whatever reason compared to Squash. It just makes absolutely no sense. The only things they have in common are 1, they're squashes, and 2, they can instantly destroy zombies. Although Winter Squash ability is conditional, while Squash ability is unconditional. Chomper has a very different ability from 3-headed Chomper. The only thing that's logical is the fact that the 3-headed Chomper stats are 3 times that of the Chomper. This is originally a pot of silver, and theoretically, it draws fewer cards than pot of gold despite costing more. Silver does cost less than gold though. Zombie Chicken and the Chickening are completely different cards from completely different classes. Need I say more? They use the same model. Poor Soldier Boy over here can't even launch his grenade when not played on heights. Theoretically, he should be able to. Despite being polar opposites of each other, Sugary Treat costs more than a Healthy Treat. I mean, legit. So, Gray Flick and Knockout are hand flicks. I still don't really understand why Gray Flick and Knockout have different costs and completely different abilities. Look at this defensive end. A literal Gargantuar. All-Star Zombie, a regular version of the Gargantuar, has more health than the actual Gargantuar for whatever reason. Why does a Gargantuar have less health than a copy of it that is literally like 10 times smaller than a defensive end? So like, Headstone Carver and Mixed Up Gravedigger have a similar appearance. So you would think that they would have similar attributes, but nope. Mixed Up Gravedigger has a gazillion amount of stats and a completely different ability. They're both professional mustache zombies, but that's all they have in common. Pair of Pairs does not have Amphibious, while Pair Pal does the Amphibious trait. Man, at least make the Pair of Pairs Amphibious too. It would actually make some play. Not only that, it also makes sense. This is a literal nuke. It should absolutely destroy everything, not just the ground. Cosmic Scientist looks very similar to the Mad Chemist. I mean, Cosmic Scientist is based on the Mad Chemist, at least in its appearance, but they have completely different stats, completely different attributes, and might as well have completely different abilities. Cosmic Nut and Walnut might as well be the same issue as Cosmic Scientist and Mad Chemist. And Cosmic Nut shoots instead of headbutting. There really is nothing to be said. This Sham Rocket seems much softer than the Rocket Science, but has the same ability of destroying big guys. I mean, look at this, the Rocket Science is much more intimidating than the Sham Rocket, but the Sham Rocket does have the same ability and the same cost. I'm just being an arena announcer at this point. And Mustache Monument, I want you to read its ability. Does that make sense to you? No? Good! 3-Nut has 3 heads, so it theoretically should be superior to the Peanut. But look at this Peanut, more health than the 3-Nut. In Plants vs. Zombies, Puff Shroom and Sea Shroom are free. Sea Shroom is the, the amphibious equivalent of the Puff Shroom. Yet in PvZ Heroes, they belong to different classes and have different stats. Cosmic Shroom is based on the Fume Shroom, but in the end they're just wildly different. I have no idea why Fume Shroom is skinny as well. Grow Shroom and Sun Shroom, that's literally the same problem. Look at this Grow Shroom. How similar it is to Sun Shroom. I mean, even before PvZ Heroes was launched, Grow Shroom looked exactly like Sun Shroom. Oh, never mind. It's in the behind the scenes trailer. Cosmic Bean. Laser Bean. It's probably the worst example of them all. This is a little bit better here. Cosmic Flower and Sunflower. As you can see, they both belong in the same class. Cosmic Flower has strike through though. Sunflower does not even attack at all. Here is the typical Beanstalk. And here is the Magic Beanstalk, which is kind of the same problem. But Magic Beanstalk, at least in a New Balance patch, typical Beanstalk is going to turn into a Magic Beanstalk, which is fine, which actually makes sense, sort of. I gotta admit, their side-by-side comparison is quite cool. Venus Flytrap, and here is the Mars Flytrap. Different classes, they have the same stats, different abilities though. Now, I want you to take a closer look on what mixed nuts contains. There's a walnut, there's a small nut, there's what seems to be a pistachio, which resembles Pistachio from Plants vs. Zombies All-Stars, a Chinese PvZ game. This belongs in the Solar class. That was actually the first appearance of a small nut, by the way, but small nut belongs in Guardian. Walnut also belongs in Guardian. And then there's Pistachio. All three belong in Guardian. The only thing that they all have in common is they're all basic common cards. That's literally it. This is just absolutely mad. One of the craziest, illogical things to ever happen in PvZ Heroes is this. Okay, so for whatever godforsaken reason, Snow Pea can be boosted by Torchwood in this game. Fire Pea can also be boosted by Torchwood. It makes a little bit more sense than Snow Pea, but at the same time, Fire Pea already shoots Fire Peas. Torchwood is not in its plant food form in PvZ 2, which just turns Fire Peas into blue Fire Peas. This does not work that way. And Fire Pea can also be frozen. Fire Pea can be frozen in PvZ Heroes. Why can it be frozen? I have absolutely no clue. Fire Pea should not be able to be frozen, because it's literally made of fire. It should have a special trait in which it cannot be frozen. It would actually be... It wouldn't really matter as a buff in PvZ Heroes, but it actually makes sense that way. Okay, why can Sweet Pea also be buffed by Torchwood when all it does is just burn its food into caramel? Smashing Pumpkin and Mushroom literally make a freaking earthquake when they attack. Why don't they have strike through? What Vine's attacks look like a light hit. So why 5 damage? Why can't Umbrella Leaf protect itself, especially from stuff like Bungee Plumber? And finally, theoretically, Parasol Zombie can just protect itself from basically every attack. It could just use an umbrella to protect everything, protect from its every... Oh my god. We're just not having a good time today with PvZ Heroes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next time.